Good boy. Hey guys, it's Marco here, Fully Loaded Cars, and joining me today is our mascot, Hachiko. Say hello, Hachi. Say hello. And today we're going to be talking about the E30 Motorsport behind me. No, it wasn't my car. This car was a client's car. This car was bought before COVID, and I think 2 years before COVID. And so this car came about as a casualty of COVID, meaning that after the lockdowns, a lot of people lost their work, and unfortunately, the client that bought this car couldn't afford to restore it, and I ended up buying it off the client and restoring it. So this car was bought in Ireland, and I was meant to go with the client to view the car before I actually bought it, and I was away on holiday, and I told him, wait until I get back, we'll go and have a look at it together before you actually commit to buying it. And he was like, no, I'm going to go and do it myself. I'm going to go and I'll phone you when I'm there. And he did, and he phoned me, and I said, well, there's not much I can tell you about the car over the phone. I need to physically see it, because he was looking for a motorsport for a very long time, and he just said, I'm just going to buy this one because I'm fed up of looking, and I'm over here in Ireland, and that's the worst thing you can do, is go to buy a car from a long distance, because you're committed. You've committed to the travel, and that's what happened with this. So he ended up buying it. And when I come back from holiday, it was already here. No, I'm an E30 specialist. I started repairing E30s when I was in Hackney about 20 years ago. So I've done hundreds of these, because that's all I used to specialise in. So I know them inside out. I've owned maybe 50 E30s myself. So I used to buy them, we used to buy them salvage, and we used to fix them up and sell them on. So I've had quite a number of them, hence why he brought it to us to restore it. So a question for our audience: this is my favourite 90s sports car. If you had the choice and money was no option, which 90s sports car would you buy? When I come back from holiday and I saw the car, I was not happy, to say the least. The purpose of buying the car off the customer and was just to recoup the expense, labour that I put into it, because the car was so bad. It had the front end. Had front end damage, it had been rotted in the usual places like floor pans, inner arches, outer arches, front panel, rear panel. So it was a bad example to begin with. Put a lot of labour into it, getting it painted, which my client obviously was meant to pay for. So I think we've put about 1,500 hours into the bodywork alone. So me buying the car was just to recoup that. But since then, they've become so rare that I'm actually turning it into a museum item, really. It's going to go and sit in a BMW showroom, and it'll probably never be used. I will not drive it one day. I'll drive it to get it MOT. I might not even drive it to the MOT station. I might put it on the back of a lorry and take it 500 yards up the road and and get it MOT'd and bring it back on a truck. It's brand new. The car, every part is that I could get from BMW is new. It's like any old stock parts that I have, I've literally bought. I'm actually waiting for the headlights and grills and the door rubbers to come back, to come over from Germany, and before it heads over to the trimmers to get the interior done. But underneath is mint. Every nut and bolt, every pipe, every clip, anything that I could buy new, I've literally bought new for this car. So yeah, it'd be a shame to put it on the road and get it dirty. Some people always say it's a shame not to drive it, but you know, they're just so rare now. So we bought quite a few engines to get this original engine up to spec, because when we pulled the engine out, it had the cracked head. Well, you can't buy these 3 to 5 heads on their own because they're common. It's a common thing for them to crack. So I've had to buy 3 engines to get a head to get this engine up and going. And out of them 3 engines, I managed to build a spare engine. So we actually got we got the original engine in this, and I've got a spare engine just in case anything happens to this. So on the E30 325s, you get the SE, you get the Motorsport, and you get the M3s. The M3s have got the wider body on it, so like a metal arches, and they're flared out. So that was the one they used in the DTM racing, the saloon car racings back in the 80s and 90s. That's the most desirable one. And then you got this one, which is the Motorsport. They only made a few of these. They didn't make, I think convertibles, they only made 150 and maybe 1,500 saloons. And then you've got the normal SC without the body kit. So the difference between this and the normal one is the body kit, and then you've got the uprated suspension and the interior and all that, you know, you've got the gearbox as well, and all the M extras that you get on an M Sport. And another thing that makes these so rare is when they first come out, they were very easy to steal. So people used to steal them and just strip them for parts and put them onto a normal 325. So you could have a normal 325. You could take all the body kit off this one, all the suspension, and just swap it onto a normal one, and and turn your normal 325 into a Sport. Because that was so easy to do, a lot of them just got stolen and cut up. And that's what makes these very rare. My favourite part about these E30s is the body kit. They first come out in 89, I think it was, 89, 90. When these come out, there was nothing like them. You know, even now, they still look as cool as hell. You know, they just look so cool. They've got a nice stance to them, a nice boot spoiler, and you know, everybody loves an E30. You know, they're just gorgeous to look at. My favourite car by all means, you know. When we got the car in and we started stripping it down, we noticed that it had a front end, the bumper, the spoiler, and some of the body kit was fiberglass, so it wasn't original. If I went to view the car, I would never have bought it just for that simple reason, because getting the bumper and the front spoiler and all the other bits, they're like hen's teeth. They're impossible to get. So only this year I managed to find the front valance, the bumper, and the side skirts, because you can't buy them new because they've been discontinued. So I've had, I've waited about 5 years for them to come up, and I finally managed to source them original second-hand, where somebody's had an accident and they just had parts left over. But they cost me double the price of new. Like the actual car was sprayed, I think 3 years ago, and then it's just been waiting for parts, like the engine head, the body kit, the diff, all the parts that were no good. I've just been hunting them down, and as I've bought the parts, I've just stored them. And in the last 6 months, we've been a little bit quiet. Things have tailed down a bit. Yeah, we just started putting it back together. Man hours, I would say I've got easily over 2,500 man hours in this. I stopped counting the man hours when it was mine because I've got no one to build by myself. So we specialise in open seam restorations, and we're going to make a video shortly just discussing how we do them and why we do them and the benefits. If there's anyone out there that does still do that, please leave us a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe. We do have a Facebook page and Instagram, so go and follow us on there, and we'll catch you in the next one.